ಬೆಳಗಿನ ಜಾವ 10 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಹ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಬೇರೆ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇಷ್ಟು ಕುತೂಹಲದಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಹ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಸೊ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ಲಿ ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸಹ. ಸೊ ಟುಡೇ ಮೇನ್ ಅಜೆಂಡಾ ಬಂದು ನಮ್ದು ಏನು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ MCMB phase 1 phase 2 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಷನ್ ಹೇಗಿತ್ತು, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಮುನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮುನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಷನ್ ಎಂಕರೇಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಎಂಕರೇಜ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಷನ್ಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿ ಆ ವಾರ್ಡ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಗೌರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್ ಜೊತೆ ಸೊ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಅಚೀವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಐ ವುಡ್ ಇನ್ವೈಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೆಂಟ್. ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ವೆಬಿನಾರ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಪ್ಯಾನಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಬಾನಸವಾಡಿಯ ಅಮಿತ್ ಅವರು ಮತ್ತೆ ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟೋಫರ್ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ವೈಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಇನ್ವೈಟ್ ಗುಟ್ಟಿಗೆರೆ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ನ ಸ್ವರೂಪ ಅವರು ಮತ್ತೆ ಪೊಂಗುತಾಯಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ವೈಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಮೇಡಮ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಗೀತಾ ಅವರು ವಾರ್ಡ್ ನಂಬರ್ 19 ಅವ್ರನ್ನು ಸಹ ನಾನು ಇನ್ವೈಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಲಲಿತಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರು ವಾರ್ಡ್ ನಂಬರ್ 18. ಸೊ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಇನ್ವೈಟ್ ಲಲಿತಾ ಮೇಡಮ್. ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಮೇಡಮ್. ಮತ್ತೆ ವರ್ತೂರ್ನ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ನ ಜಗದೀಶ್ ಅವರು ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರನ್ನು ಸಹ ನಾನು ಹಾರ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ವೈಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಟುಡೇಸ್ ಅಜೆಂಡಾ. ಸೊ ಒಂದ್ ಬಂದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಈ ಫೋಕಸ್ ವಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಈ 5 ವಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಚೀವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಇದನ್ನ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ 198 ವಾರ್ಡ್ ನ ಅದರ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ನ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ಅವ್ರ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಹೇಗೆಲ್ಲ ನಡಿಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಬರಲಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಉದ್ದೇಶದಿಂದ ಈ ವೆಬಿನಾರ್ ನಾವು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಅಗೈನ್ welcome panelist and participant. So Srinivas, I'm going to hand over to you on to start the program.
Thank you, HL. A very warm welcome to all of you. I am very pleased to see so many of you are interested in systematic changes to urban governance and serious degree of citizen participation in local governance. Things that we are talking about today are literally dreams that many people that work in the urban governance have been holding for a long time. We have invited people from all over India today. We have people joining us from Mumbai, from Hyderabad, from Ahmedabad, from Delhi, from different parts of Karnataka. All of them are pinching themselves to say that, is this really happening? Are citizens really getting money to decide on their own in their ward committees? The ward committees for real? Is it just something that Srinivas keeps posting on Twitter, or is there something really happening? So many people have these doubts, and I hope that today's event will dispel those doubts and tell them, while not everything is perfect, many problems exist. We all know it's very difficult to do what we are doing, but the point is we must be doing it. Idu ee program kannadadalli agutte, English dalli agutte, because we have a lot of people from out of Bengaluru and Karnataka. I request all the speakers to use both English and Kannada. It's your choice, but you can use both. And whatever you use, know that we will be translating it in the live chat window for the sake of all the people that are attending. Our colleague Harsha will be posting these messages in the chat window. There is a little button at the bottom says chat. If you're not aware, you click on that, you will see the messages coming. It's like live subtitles of the movie you're watching. So we do this for all our events. So hopefully it will help you. You can also use the chat window for any discussion as we go on. I will quickly tell you what the format of today's event is going to be. We have allocated 1.5 hours to this. We have invited 5 different wards into this conversation, 5 wards that we are working closely with the citizens as well as the BBMP. And the citizens from these 5 wards will be talking about their experience in the last few months working in the ward committees. Many of them have been working selflessly as citizen volunteers during COVID, before COVID, for COVID, other issues beyond COVID, so many different ways they are interacting. today we are inviting them especially to talk about the participatory budget, what we call My City, My Budget, Nanna Nagara, Nanna Budget in Kannada. That means, I will have a say in the way that budget is given to my city and my ward. So this is a 12-month running program, 1-year program in Bengaluru. Janaagraha has been running it for 5-6 years now, continuously. But last year, a very, very special thing has happened. Usually the program happens like people give inputs and BBMP will take the inputs and say, yeah, we've included those inputs in the budget, so let's make it happen. But this time what they've done is, here is some money. You use the money to implement the input that you only give. So that's what they've said. Just give me 1 second. Tulsi ma'am is calling. HL ma'am has got a wrong link. Please send her a link that she can join. Tulsi ma'am. Okay. So her link is saying meeting has not started. Please send her a better link.
Okay.
I'll introduce her when she joins, but Tulsi ma'am has been instrumental in taking this forward. She is the IS officer, BBMP Special Commissioner in charge of budget making of Bengaluru. Because of her initiative, all of these things have taken to a different shape. So we will hear from her, we'll hear from the 5 different wards. And then the biggest objective of today's meeting is, how do we make this good work happen in all wards of Bengaluru? We are a small team at Janaagraha. Everyone has limited resources. We all have regular jobs and other things to do. So we cannot put so much time into it. But still, with little time, when citizens work together, like collectively, like a team, along with the BBMP officials, amazing things can be happen. So that's the story you're going to hear today. And hopefully that will inspire you to take it to your ward. We are aware that there are many issues in different wards. We will talk about that too. So the half an hour after the 5 ward presentations will be about discussing this. And we also cordially invite all the citizens and activists and others joining from other cities to ask us about what they think, how they can do it in their city and other questions like that. So we want it to be a lively interaction after these 5 presentations. And that's how this is going to go. I'm very happy to invite Sobia. Sobia is from Sensing Local. Sensing Local has been a wonderful partner in this journey. Most of the wards that we are seeing today, Sensing Local has worked there. They have helped them identify the footpaths and do the estimates and things like that. Welcome, Sobia. I'm also very pleased to welcome Mr. Srinivas Chari from ASCII, Hyderabad. He's one of the well-known urban evangelists and very respected organization called ASCII in Telangana, working with many states on Swachhata and almost every other urban thing. Welcome, Chari sir, for joining. I welcome folks from TISS, Tata Institute of Social Services, and I will look through who else has joined and welcome you later on. But for the moment, I request that we get started. HL, so with what you are going to say, and then we'll bring in Tulsi ma'am and then to the wards.
Yeah, just I will give a brief on 1-year activities, what happened in our field. So, screen ನೋಡ್ಬೋದಾ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ?
Yes.
Yeah. So My City My Budget each year ಈ activities ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ನಾವು ಆಗಿನ ಕಮಿಷನರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಮಂಜುನಾಥ್ ಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಅವರು ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಕಮಿಷನರ್ ಅವರಾಗಿದ್ದಂತಹ ತುಳಸಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರು ಮತ್ತೆ ರಣದೀಪ್ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಈ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪೇನ್ ನಾವು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಅಫಿಷಿಯಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ದೆನ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿನ ನಾವು ಮೊಬಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ರೀಚ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ದು. ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಅವರ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಅಫಿಷಿಯಲಿ ವಿಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ MCMB ಕ್ಯಾಂಪೇನ್. ಸೊ ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಾನು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿರೋ ತರ ಈ MCMB ಕ್ಯಾಂಪೇನ್ ಬಂದು ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು 198 ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಇದು. ಸೊ ಇದು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ಲೈನ್ ಬೋತ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಇಂದ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಮುಗಿತು. ಸೊ ಈ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಬಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇದು ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು 198 ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಸಹ ರೌಂಡ್ ಹೊಡಿತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮಂತ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು ಒನ್ ಡೇ ಒಂದು ವಾರ್ಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ, ಒನ್ ಡೇ ಒನ್ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ಆ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಬಸ್ ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ರನ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸೊ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಗ್ಯಾದರ್ ಮಾಡಿ. Then we generated a report generate ಮಾಡಿ we submitted that report through citizen ಜೊತೆ BBMP submit ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಸೊ BBMP submit ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ this is the first time in India ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು as my knowledge. As a municipal corporation in a budget book ಅಲ್ಲಿ different words ನ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. One is citizen participation ಅನ್ನೋ word. So never ever seen that word in any other municipal corporation. Citizen budget, citizen participation, reserve for 20 lakhs, footpath development goskara 20 lakhs, ಮತ್ತೆ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ನ ಸೂಪರ್ವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಅವರು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಸೂಪರ್ವೈಸ್ ನ ವರ್ಡ್ ನ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದ್ರ 1% ಆ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಥ್ರೂ ಆ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ವರ್ಡ್. These kind of word in entire India first time in our municipal corporation received. That is a big achievement ನಮ್ಮ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪೇನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದು ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಷನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಈಗಿನ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು ತುಳಸಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಆಗಿನ ಮಂಜುನಾಥ್ ಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಅವ್ರು ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಚೀಫ್ ಕಮಿಷನರ್ ಅವ್ರು ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇಂದ ಈ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಸೊ ಈ ಬಜೆಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಆಗ್ಲೇ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ 20 lakhs ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಈಚ್ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗೋಸ್ಕರ 5 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗೋಸ್ಕರ 20 lakhs ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಎಂಟೈರ್ ವಿಷನ್ 1000 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ನ ವಾಕಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದ್ರ ಜೊತೆನಲ್ಲಿ 20 lakhs ಫಾರ್ ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್, 20 lakhs ಫಾರ್ ಪಾಟ್ ವಾಲ್, 20 lakhs ಫಾರ್ ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬಜೆಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮುನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೊ BBMP ಕಳೆದ ಬಜೆಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ವಾರ್ಡ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವಂತ ಅನುದಾನದ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಷನ್ ಗೋಸ್ಕರ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಎನ್ಕರೇಜ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಸೊ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ 120 crores 120 ಕೋಟಿನ ಅನುದಾನ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿತ್ತು ಬಜೆಟ್. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಈಚ್ ವಾರ್ಡ್ 60 lakhs ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಇದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪಾಟ್ ವಾಲ್, ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ ಅಂತ ಸ್ಪ್ಲಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ನೋಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿಗಳು ಒನ್ ಹೂ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗಿ ನಾವು ಪರ್ಸನಲಿ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸರ್ವೆ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂದು ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ 20 lakhs ಹೇಗೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೌ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. Then we have given a standard survey. It's a jot form survey. So ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಆ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ which road they identify. So ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ವೆಯನ್ನ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. It is a one hour survey. ಎಲ್ಲ ಟಿಕ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇರುವಂತ ಸರ್ವೆ. ಸೊ ಸರ್ವೆನ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸರ್ವೆ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿತ್ತು. ಸರ್ವೆ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಆ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ನ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಹತ್ರ ತಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಈ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಕಮಿಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ಡ್. ಆಗ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಅವರು ಎಸ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ರೋಡ್ಗೆ ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ ಎಸ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್. ದೆನ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಜನರೇಟೆಡ್ ವಾಕಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್ ಅವ್ರು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತಹ ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್ ನ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇದೆ, ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ಆ ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್ಗೆ, ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ನ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಎಗೈನ್ ಅವ್ರು ತಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಅದನ್ನ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಕಮಿಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸೊ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಅದು ಆ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಟುಮಾರೋ ಡೇ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಟುಮಾರೋ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಅಫಿಷಿಯಲಿ ಅನೌನ್ಸ್, ಅಥವಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ತುಳಸಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಸಹ ಕಾಲಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಶಿ ವಿಲ್ ಟೆಲ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಶಿ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಮೋರ್ information she will share. So thank you, Srinivas.
So this is the process for all the wards
Yes.
that we have come up with. So can you show that again? Yeah, show the previous one. Yeah, so after we working with other teams like so we are from Sensing Local and others, we sat with the ward committees and the citizens there, and they will tell their story. So, but the idea is that they identified where they want to use these funds, and then cost estimation is done with by the engineers, and then a report has been created, and then the ward committees had to work on, okay, what shall we prioritize this year? There will always be more things to do than the budget allows you. So how do you prioritize? So that is the main purpose of a ward committee. So citizens can come together, discuss, debate, build consensus on what they want to do. Hopefully that's what happened in these wards. We'll hear from them directly. So that's where things stand. In different wards are in different stages of it. Many wards have not completed the walkability survey. One of the main purpose of this is that after this event, you will get ideas of how to go about. We are all here to support you as well. So that's what we will do. And you will know more about this as we go along. Thank you, HL. You can stop sharing, please.
Yeah.
I like to invite Ms. Tulsi Madhineni, IS officer. She is the Special Commissioner of BBMP, the Bengaluru Municipal Corporation. She is in charge of finance for our city of Bengaluru. She is also a zonal commissioner for BBMP South, which is one of the biggest zones of Bengaluru with many wards inside that. But even more bigger introduction for her is that she's also a nodal officer for her own ward, where she resides, Ward 19, and it's one of the wards where today there will be a presentation about that. Tulsi ma'am, we are very grateful that you could join us today, but even more grateful that you have taken this participatory budget so seriously and actually allocated the money to ward committees and went beyond our expectations when you allocated 1% of property tax to the ward committees to spend on their own local works. So we'd like to hear from you and I must tell you, since you joined a couple of minutes late today, we are not only joined by fellow citizens in Bengaluru, but many others have joined us from Mumbai and Hyderabad and Ahmedabad, Delhi and Hyderabad and Chennai and many others. So we are wanting to tell this story to everybody in India that a city corporation can do such a thing and citizens can partner with BBMP to make change happen, however small or it might be. So we request you to say a few words about your own experience doing this and what do you think is going to happen next? Tulsi ma'am.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay. So
you're not able to turn on your video, ma'am?
Yeah, I'm at home. So okay, I'll turn it on. No problem.
Okay, sure.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
So, yes, it was a leap of faith for us to put that 60 lakhs in the budget for the citizens' participation. I'm a citizen of Bangalore. So I truly feel that as citizens, Bangalore has one of the most vibrant community where people participate. Like if you look, Whitefield Rising is one group, Kormangla has another group. So citizens have come together to fight or rather to get what is due to them. So it was this active citizen participation which gave me the confidence to put ahead this 60 lakhs per each ward. It's not that earlier wards were not getting the money, but it was just a lump sum amount and it was not specified who would be the decision makers. So we thought, let us give citizens participation a bigger role in this. So that was the reason why the current Chief Commissioner Gaurav Gupta sir was our administrator then. So Gaurav Gupta sir, Manjunath Prasad sir, when we discussed, and Janaagraha also came in with us. So we were like, okay, let us try. We will do it anyway. Money is going to come. So we identified three major areas. Like we did a citizens participation thing. There was like these yellow spots, which Janaagraha had identified, which the SWM department is doing it in parallelly. They are working on that. So 20 lakhs is not a huge amount. For anybody who has worked with urban local bodies, they know 20 lakhs is nothing. 1 kilometer of road to do properly with drains and all that, a 30 feet width road will cost us around 6 to 7 crores. That's the kind of expenditure which goes into it. But we wanted to make it an initiative, something for citizens to participate. So like I have heard people who come, like when we were discussing My City, My Budget initiative earlier, citizens ask the question, okay, we are participating. What is the outcome of this? So we wanted to incentivize citizens also to participate in their ward affairs. I truly believe that as people living in the ward, we have the biggest stake in that ward's development or maintenance. There is an elected body, but still it's like we need to ask them. We need a continuous engagement is needed. Otherwise, things are difficult and the priorities of different people are different. So citizens, if we want to have our ward proper and maintained, then we need to engage with the urban local body. And one thing which I feel bad about is the urban bodies pay for everything. If you are paying for street light maintenance, whether that fellow maintains the street lights or not, he will get paid. But the street light in your ward is not working, it is a loss to us as the citizens there. The park maintenance, the urban local body pays somebody to maintain that park. If he is an employee of the urban local body, he is getting his money free of cost, which is basically the taxpayers' money. If he is a contractor, he is getting his money without doing the work. So as citizens, you need to question. And this is what I tell in my ward committee meetings every day, whenever we meet, telling that yes, in government, if you say once, things may not happen because there is a lot of work. We are very understaffed. Our responsibilities are increasing day by day with the same number of people. They are overworked. So engage with them, remind them 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, they will do it. They will somehow try to find the money. If these are huge infrastructure programs with outlay of large amounts, we cannot do it. But regular maintenance works, I'm sure all the urban local bodies are spending money on that. There may be a delay in the payment, but there is no excuse for the contractor to take money without delivering the services which he has to deliver. So it is with this belief that we went ahead and provided this money. Okay, so this 20 lakhs which we provided for potholes, around 3 months ago, somewhere in October, November, there was a huge problem in Bangalore regarding potholes. So that 20 lakhs, we wanted the citizens to participate in that, but at that point of time, because of lot of issues, there were some people who had met with an accident. So we had to process the work fast. You can still ask your local ward engineer about the 20 lakhs where they have spent it to fill the potholes. That comes to another 20 lakhs for footpath. For footpath, we have the Walkability Index, which has been developed by Janaagraha. So we told them to kindly work, do the Walkability Index, identify the spots, and then take it up with the ward engineer. They will do it. We have spoken to the engineers. We told them this is how these work will have to be taken up. So you can kindly engage with them. Okay. So that is for the 20 lakhs for footpath and 20 lakhs for borewells. In Bangalore, many, at least the old area, there is BWSSB water supply. And I'm surprised we have around some 9 to 10,000 borewells where BBMP is maintaining to put the to give water supply to the people. Outer areas, I understand there is a reason where our expenditure is huge, but this is just for maintenance of these borewells, because one of the complaint was these borewells are not repaired properly. So we wanted citizens to have a say about where the borewells money is being used. Okay, so this is how, and we are at the end of January. If you can participate immediately, I know there are ward committee meetings happening regularly. At least in 90% of the wards, we have ward committee meetings which are happening. So as citizens, if you can go and give your request and decide in the ward committee what you want to do, then those works will be taken up. Okay. I know ward committee meetings are noisy. They are different kinds of citizens. And this is no different from a Gram Panchayat meeting. Gram Sabha, we call it. Okay. The first time I saw a Gram Sabha, I was really amazed. Like how so many people, around 300 people came, and everybody had their own things which they wanted to do. But out of chaos, a sense of order will emerge. That's what I believe in. That's how systems work. Everybody has competing interests, but then we are civilized people. We need to sit together and prioritize. As was told, our wants are many and the resources are limited. So let's prioritize and do at least the main roads where people interact every day. For every person, his problem is the most important. I definitely understand that and I empathize with that. But when we sit as a group, we should be able to come to some consensus. It is this Gram Sabha, this ward committee meetings are the equivalent of the Gram Sabha, of the Gram Panchayat area. That is what, and especially the new act, we also have some area committees which have come in. Okay, so it's a process, it's an experiment. We hope it will succeed. Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. That's very, very reassuring and very clear to all of us. There are many ward committees that are taking this path. Many are yet to get on this because information is not clear and nodal officers are changing. In some cases, there have been transfers and lack of information. So we've also requested Tulsi ma'am to send clear guidelines to all the nodal officers. We must remember that nodal officers have multiple jobs. Besides being a nodal officer for what, they have many other responsibilities. So it's not easy to maintain, keep track of all of them. So ma'am has kindly agreed to give them very clear instructions on how to use this money. There is a job code system and budget usage system that BBMP uses internally. In some places, people are not aware. So she has kindly agreed to send that out. So those of you that are asking in the chat that this is not happening in my ward, how do we use this? I hope you got some clear answers. By the end of this meeting, you will hear more about what happened in different wards. So we'll come back to you and keep those questions coming. And we'll have, like I promised at the beginning, we'll have 30 minutes of interaction. But it depends on how quickly we move through the ward. So HL, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Srinivas. So, ಈಗ ಫಸ್ಟು ತಮ್ಮ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಏನು 1 year ಜರ್ನಿನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ನ ಬಾನಸವಾಡಿ ಅವರು ಫಸ್ಟು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅಮಿತ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟೋಫರ್ ಅವರು, ಅದಾದ ನಂತರ ಗೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆರೆ, ದೆನ್ ವರ್ತೂರು ಅಂಡ್ ಸಂಜಯ್ ನಗರ ಅಂಡ್ ರಾಧಾಕೃಷ್ಣ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಅವರು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಯಾ ಎಸ್, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ 5 ನಿಮಿಷ ಟೈಮ್ ಇದೆ ಅಮಿತ್ ಅವರೇ, ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟೋಫರ್ ಅವರೇ. ಎಷ್ಟು 5 ನಿಮಿಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ನ ನೀವು ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ನ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತದೆ? ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗೋ ಅಹೆಡ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Hi everyone, this is Amit Nigli from Banaswadi. So I'm first of all very grateful to Janaagraha and Sensing Local to handhold us and support us with the entire process. Basically, our Banaswadi ward has 2 BDA layouts created in 1987 as one of the model layouts by the BDA. Many from South Bengaluru and East Bengaluru started buying BDA properties, and we could see a lot of BDA doing a lot of work with related to big roads, planting lots of trees, beautiful big stormwater drains, parks, and etc. But with the time, the population started growing so much that we could see a lot of migratory population, and it started affecting our area in terms of huge apartments. The consumption level was getting high, the garbage was getting thrown this side, that side, etc. So that is where we saw some kind of relief. That was the ward committee meetings, and in ward committee meetings, many could come out and openly get most of their issues resolved. After that, we could see Janaagraha coming up with this concept of MyCityMyBudget, and we were very happy to be associated with this and support MyCityMyBudget by doing they were sending their autos. We had gone door to door in those streets, done a lot of survey, And we got a lot of inputs from the resident saying that, okay, there was a good road here, but now we can't see it. There's no proper footpath. So those inputs from residents helped us a lot to understand, okay, give priority now to which road needs a footpath, or which road doesn't have a toilet, or the garbage, how it can be disposed of, etc., etc. So can you share the next slide? So this is our Banaswadi ward, which is around 3.25 square kilometers. It's one of the biggest wards I can assume in our area. It has around 60,000 population. And those boundaries that you see is the place that we zeroed in as to we should be looking at, working on this budget for this particular road. And finally, we have come up with the best plan for this. The next slide, please. Again, you see a lot of interactions. We were very happy when Sensing Local had come forward and they said, yes, we are going to be bringing in architects. So they brought in some experts to help us, plan up with a nice landscape, area. And we identified a particular road in this, and that is the 8th main stormwater drain. And we hope that the BBMP also understands that by beautifying a small space like this in urban Bengaluru, we would be happy to have something similar that is in Church Street or in Lavalier Road, etc. So we also want that kind of a system in our area. So I would ask Mr. Christopher, my co-panelist, also to share his views as well. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Amit. Again, I would like to thank Sensing Local and Janaagraha for initiating this. Without their help, I don't think we would have able to come this far. And as Srinivas said, we have a lot of people who are attending this meeting from across India. And this would probably be a model or a stepping stone for us for the future. Well, like all of us agree that 60 lakhs is barely negligible or next to nothing, but it is something to start with. Probably the plans or the report what we have generated is for a big section of our area. How have we come to select these roads is basically to see the connectivity and the usability of these roads. Now, if you see the 8th main is probably an intersection where everybody can access, everybody almost passes to this invariably. So it is inevitable that we have to make these roads good and safe for people to use. When you talk about safety, a lot of things come into consideration. One is street lights. When there is a proper illumination, people can see where there is a pothole, if there is. People can travel safely in the dark to avoid any crimes. Then we can talk about footpath, where people can walk safely on a footpath without any traps. I would say traps are areas where the footpath covers have caved in, or two-wheelers are driving over footpaths. Accidents do happen there. So we need to have barricades where two-wheelers are not able to access the footpath, which has been done very well in Church Street and many other parts. Then we have the other allocation for borewell. I don't think we have a big challenge about borewells in our ward at the moment. We have adequate water, and BWSSB is doing a good job apart from the mindless digging of roads. So that's the another issue that we can take it separately. But yes, we have walked on these roads from point A to point B, where the reports have been generated. Can we? Yeah. So we started from the service road and went down 8th main and the other roads indicated in red and orange. And we saw how much of these footpaths are pedestrian friendly. So if you look at the reports, what it says, how good is our roads? It's just about, I think we get 26% of walkability score, which is much below the shown average as worst, in the worst category. So it needs urgent attention. So the footpaths need to be made walkable and safe to use as soon as possible. We have also having a very big issue of footpath encroachment, but we do have strict directions from BBMP and the police as well to clear footpath encroachments. But we do not know the reason why they are shy to take this up. The encroachment clearance can be done without any spending of any money. All it requires is dedicated individuals. We need support from the health department. We need support from the police. I think Tulsi madam can step in here and direct your people to act fast. The encroachment can be done without spending any additional, even a single rupee. If that is done, I think 50% of our problems will be solved.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. I really appreciate it. I must say that Team Banaswadi Ward Committee has been phenomenal in their COVID management, and they've won accolades and really a role model. They built amazing technologies which they offer to any other ward that want to use it. Please do get in touch with them. They're all part of our WhatsApp community. We will be posting those links. If you want to connect with Amit or Chris or anyone else from the ward, there is Tarak and many others in the group, which makes their team very strong. So you can connect with them offline. Thank you, Banaswadi. Let's move to the next one. I'm worried about time, HL, and all the speakers, requesting you to stick to 5 minutes, please. Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead. Yeah. Over to you, Swarupa and Puntai.
Swarupa, I think you'll be starting with.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Swarupa. I live in Classic Orchards layout in Gotigere ward. I'll just share my experiences of how we went by with this process. When BBMP announced that 60 lakhs was allocated for citizens to decide of what to do with that and what kind of development activity, we were quite excited. And this was announced in our ward committee meeting by our nodal officer, ma'am, Mrs. Ramamani. And then she offered to us to discuss among all the active citizens to come back. Then some of us, we are actually, that way Gotigere is blessed with quite civic aware and civic conscious active citizens. We all got together and took the help from Janaagraha and Sensing Local, who are, domain experts in this area. We really wanted to go with a scientific approach of identifying the data and then come up with what areas really need development. So we sat together and then identified the stretch of road that required the footpath that required repairs and maintenance, and then went around surveying this on various factors, like it's mentioned there, like, access, safety, connectivity, on these various parameters. And we have done the survey. And after that, the reports were generated. You can see it's not that, the ward walkability score is so high here. We are 17, which is way less than what the worst score is 35. So it's not that we are doing very well, but we have identified, which is, I think, the good part of the whole thing. We have identified which area required. And then if you see the orange and red classifications are mentioned, which is average and worst areas. And then we went to the ward engineers and then sat with them, took the estimate for how much it would cost to do this. And what really motivated our team of citizens is that the willingness from the officials to come and sit with us and understand and listen to the problem and work together with us. I think they were also really happy to see the active citizens coming forward with their issues. Otherwise, I think as Tulsi ma'am said, that they have too many issues to deal with and then less staff. And I noticed this and I witnessed it personally. So when we really went to them giving our issues, and then, they were willing to give a couple of hours on a weekly basis to sit with us and understand, and then, give us their opinion. And then we got the estimations. You can see the active participation, of the citizens doing the survey there, and then identifying the footpaths that needed repairs. And then, we sat with the engineers to get the estimate. And then we took Janaagraha's help to get the reports generated. So we have now identified one stretch that would be most usable. Obviously, it is just 20 lakhs right now that can be used. But what we have decided is from the ward committee meetings, we have decided one stretch we will address right now. And the engineer has taken it up for doing the repair. And a couple of roads, to our luck, have come on the major roads, which has a separate budget, which will be taken up anyway. And then we are requesting now Tulsi ma'am to include the rest of the footpath work to be included in the coming up budget, so that will also be addressed. So I just want to take a couple of minutes to tell what I feel that has worked in our ward is. One is, as I said, very conscious, active citizens. And the other differentiator is the nodal officer. I think she has gone out of her way to make sure the meetings happen, and then include active participation, encourage participation from the citizens. And as ma'am said, Tulsi ma'am, and she said the committee meetings are really messy and noisy, but we enjoy that because that many issues are being addressed and discussed. And people are when you see an official sitting there for BWSSB, it is really heartening that they're addressing each issue, and then we go through the minutes next time to see whether they have been attended to or not. And overall, I think ward committee meetings are really instrumental at this point in time for us to get many of our issues addressed. And hopefully going forward, we'll continue working together, get these issues addressed. Overall, we have identified around 8.9 kilometers of footpath to be maintained, but for now, we will address only that 1.5 kilometers of work. And we also have noticed that officials are, the minute we say, for example, we have identified one group which said that we will make our ward as a model ward. And then we had a meeting with garbage waste management team. And then the citizens go around and post a picture saying that this is where there is a garbage or, black spot. And then they immediately go there and then put the after picture, before and after pictures. When we see that, it really motivates us to get up next day morning and identify some of those areas. I think this active participation of BBMP officials and the citizens is the key. And as Tulsi ma'am also said that they have too many in hand. So I think working through the system and then, going after them patiently, persistent, I think is the key. And we are able to do so to a level in Gotigere, and hopefully we'll continue doing this. And I really thank Janaagraha to bring all of us together to share experiences to other wards where they can also make a difference. Thank you, Janaagraha, for doing a great job. And thanks for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you, Swarupa Ore. Punta ma'am, please give your comments. I may once again request everyone to keep it short. And please feel free to speak in Kannada or English. We'll be able to translate. So don't hesitate to use whatever language you prefer. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, all. It's nice meeting you on this Sunday morning. And Swarupa has covered most of the point. I make it very quick. And yeah, during this footpath survey experience, we come to know which is part of major road, which is BBMP, which is doable. All those things is really an experience for us. Then potholes, yes, most of the potholes were filled, as ma'am said, in the October time frames. But still, a few more are there. We created a Google sheet and asked people to give the details so that it will be easy to identify the potholes and get it filled. Our ward engineer was very much cooperative. He just said, "Madam, tell me where is the pothole. I will get it fixed." Okay, so that's a cooperation we have. And borewells, yes, the fund was utilized some for the water tanks supply. That's what they told, and even the borewell repair was taken. And yeah, as Swarupa said, the citizen participation is the key thing in our ward. And even like some plant watering also we used to identify and bring it to notice to the officials. So that was small things also we see. And mainly a couple of the residents were not sure who's the point of contact for which issue, so that also the team will help in. So apart from that, yeah, it's we felt like more fund has to be allocated for the citizens' approval, so that we can really ensure the ward is getting better in many ways. Thank you. That's it from my side.
Thank you, Pungutai. Pungutai really wants to make Gottigere a model ward. She keeps sending me messages, and Swarupa too. So we hope that after this, many wards want to be model wards, and those of you that are doing this will be able to mentor and help other wards too. Over to you, Jagdish Reddy Avare.
So thank you. ನಾನು ಜಗದೀಶ್ ರೆಡ್ಡಿ ಅಂತ ವರ್ತೂರ್ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಇಂದ. ಸೊ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ? ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ both Kannada and English in between. So ನಮ್ಮ ವಾರ್ಡು ತುಂಬಾ ದೊಡ್ಡ ವಾರ್ಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. 26 ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಾರ್ಡು ಮತ್ತೆ 205 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ರಸ್ತೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಈ ವಾರ್ಡು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕಳೆದ 10 ವರ್ಷಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು 2007 ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ BBMP ಗೆ ಸೇರ್ಪಡೆ ಆಯ್ತು. 110 ವಿಲೇಜಸ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಾರ್ಡು, ತುಂಬಾನೇ ಫಂಡ್ಸ್ ನ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇದೆ. ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಏನೀಗ ವಾಕಬಿಲಿಟಿ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ 205 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ರಸ್ತೆನೂ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಸುತ್ತ ಹಾಕೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲೂ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಮ್ ಸ್ಕೋರ್ 0 ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ನಾವು ಯಾವ ತರದ ಒಂದು ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. I mean, we have some parameters like accessibility, connectivity ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಕಂಫರ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಸೇಫ್ ಪೆಡೆಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯನ್ ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ನಾವು ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ 1 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಗೇನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಆ ತರದ ಒಂದು ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್. ಮುಖ್ಯ ಕಾರಣ ಇನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಪ್ಫುಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಫಂಡ್ಸ್ ಬಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಆಶಾಭಾವನೆ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ಒಂದು ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್ ವಾಕಬಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ನಾವೇನು ಒಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ, 2 ರಸ್ತೆಗಳನ್ನ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಮುಗಿದಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ರಸ್ತೆನ ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತಲ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಣ್ಣ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಅಂಗಡಿಗಳವರು ಮತ್ತೆ ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಗಾರ್ಬೇಜು ಮತ್ತೆ ಧೂಳಿನ ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಒಂದ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು, ಒಂದು ಶಿಸ್ತನ್ನ ತರೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ಈಗ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಪಾರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್ ಎಂಕ್ರೋಚ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಏನ್ ರಸ್ತೆ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಎಂಕ್ರೋಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಡಿಸಿಪ್ಲಿನ್ ತರಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪನಾದ್ರೂ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಈ ಒಂದು ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಈ ಟೆಂಡರ್ ಶೂರ್ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ವಿಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರೆ ಜನ ಒಂದ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡಿಸಿಪ್ಲಿನ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರೋ ಒಂದು ಉದ್ದೇಶದಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಏನು ವರ್ತೂರ್ ರೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ನವ್ರು ನಾವು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಬಾರಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗೂಡಿ ಜನಾಗ್ರಹದವರು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 1 year ಇಂದನೂ ಇದೇನು ಹೊಸ ಒಂದು ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದು 60 ಲಕ್ಷ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ನಮ್ಮ ವಾರ್ಡ್ಗೆ ಅಲೋಕೇಶನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರು ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ರು. ಅದನ್ನ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಬಹುದು, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಟೋಸ್ ಫಿಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ನಮ್ಮ ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೂ ನಮ್ಗೊಂದು 80 ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ಸ್ ಇದಾವೆ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ವಾರ್ಡ್ಗೆ. ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಧ ಭಾಗದಷ್ಟಾದ್ರೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೆಲಸ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ನಾವಿನ್ನು 10% ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಗೂ ಕೊಡಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ನಮ್ದು 56,000 ಈಗ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ವೋಟರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. 1.5 ಲಕ್ಷ ಜನಸಂಖ್ಯೆ, 1 ಲಕ್ಷದಷ್ಟು ಜನಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಫ್ಲೋಟಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಇದೊಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೌಕರ್ಯಗಳು ತೀರಾ ಕಡಿಮೆ. ಈ 20 ಲಕ್ಷ ಏನೋ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಆನೆ ಬಾಯಿ ಜೀರಿಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ದಂಗೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಆ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ರು ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಒಂದು ಆಶಾಭಾವನೆ ನಮ್ಗೇನಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಮೊದಲನೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಒಂದು ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾಗರಿಕರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪುಷ್ಟಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂತ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸೊ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಒಂದು ಆಶಾಭಾವನೆ ದಟ್ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಮೋರ್ ಫಂಡ್ಸ್ ಟು ದಿ ಸಿಟಿಜನ್ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್. ಈಗ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು 2 ರಸ್ತೆನ ಚೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಿಯರೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವು ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಏನು ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಸ್ ಇದಾರೆ, ಯಾರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ ಆ ರಸ್ತೆನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತವ್ರನ್ನ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಜನಾಗ್ರಹದವ್ರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಲಿಂಕ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ವಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಆ ಒಂದು ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಬಂದು ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಚ್ ನ ಸರ್ವೆ ಮಾಡಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಈ ಅನುದಾನನ ಬಳಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ನಾವು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ರಸ್ತೆಯನ್ನ ಪ್ರಿಯೋರಿಟೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನ 2 ರಸ್ತೆಗಳನ್ನ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಯಾರು ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳ ನೋಡಬಲ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ನಮ್ಮ ಏನು ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಏನು ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರು, ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಸ್ ಯಾರು ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ರು, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸೇರಿ ಆ 2ರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದನ್ನ ಪ್ರಿಯೋರಿಟೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಳಗೇರಿ ರಸ್ತೆನ ನಾವು ಈ ಒಂದು ಅಗತ್ಯತೆಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಈ ಒಂದು ಅನುದಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ 40 ಲಕ್ಷ ಮೇಲೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಎಸ್ಟಿಮೇಶನ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಬಟ್ ನಮ್ಮ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ತುಳಸಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ಗಾಗ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ನಮ್ಮ ARO ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ್ ಅವ್ರೇನು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಖುಷಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು, ಇದನ್ನ 20 ಲಕ್ಷ ಈಗ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೆಂಗೂ ಫೆಬ್ರವರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಅಲೋಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಅನುದಾನ ಇದು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ನೀವು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಪ್ರೈರಿಟೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಆ ಒಂದು ರಸ್ತೆನಾದ್ರೂ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ರಸ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅನುವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್ ನ ಇಲ್ಲವರೆಗೂ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಂದು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ತರದ್ದು ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಸ್ ನ ಒಟ್ಟುಗೂಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳನ್ನ ಒಟ್ಟುಗೂಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು BBMP ಜೊತೆ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರೇರೇಪಣೆ ಮಾಡಿದಂತೆ ಜನಾಗ್ರಹ ಟೀಮ್ನವ್ರಿಗೂ, ಸೆನ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಲೋಕರ್ನವ್ರಿಗೂ ಮತ್ತೆ BBMP ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಿಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಹೃದಯಪೂರ್ವಕ ವಂದನೆಗಳು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್.
Thank you, Jagdish. That is super. Rajdhani Express covered everything in quick time. Thank you very much. Fantastic work, Vartur Rising, and all of you in Vartur Ward and with your BBMP engineers. Thank you. Janaagraha next.
Yes. Hi. Hello, Srinivas.
Hello.
Good morning, all. I am Geeta from Sanjaynagar. So before starting ಈ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗಕ್ ಮುಂಚೆ I'll just give you a background of ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. Sanjaynagar is blessed with very active citizens, not 1 or 2 but many we have. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಹಲವಾರು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದಾವೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಜಯನಗರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ನಾವು ಏನೇ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಆದ್ರೂ we get together, all the citizens, most of the people who are very active, and we try to solve it. So that is how it works. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹಲವಾರು ಜನ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಷನ್ ನಾವು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ವಾಕ್ ಟು ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ವೇರ್ ವಿ ಕನೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ ವೇರಿಯಸ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಸಂಜಯನಗರ್. The reason being, we said we need proper footpaths for children to walk short distances ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಸೊ ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಸಂಜಯನಗರ್ ಮೇನ್ ರೋಡ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, we took a survey of it with the help of a program called ಸುಮಾ. ಹಲವಾರು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಇದಾವೆ. We took the help of DULT. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ವೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, we approached DULT and after that we took the help of even the MLA and the then commissioner Mr. Manjunath Prasad. So our help ತಗೊಂಡು ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, we thought Sanjaynagar main road doesn't have a proper footpaths. So ಹಾಗಾಗಿ proper footpaths and tender shore roads ತರ ನಾವು ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. This plan was approved by Mr. Manjunath Prasad, the then commissioner, and along with our MLAs, and this project started around 4 to 5 years back. So today we have a very good roads on Sanjaynagar main road, but footpath tumba chanagide. But the problem next we faced was vendor encroachment. Vendors so yavag occupy madidro, we lost that, saying that even though we have good footpath, namge nadiyak agalla. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, then we slowly took in active citizens. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, we approached the representatives, we approached our nodal officer also, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವ ತರ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, because it is their livelihood also, vendors livelihood also, we didn't want to disturb. So then there was a strict rule saying that footpaths cannot be encroached by the vendors. So what we did was, okay, crossroads shift ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ we approached the vendors, and with their approval ನಾವು crossroads ಅವ್ರು ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು now Sanjaynagar main road has good footpaths with no vendors on the footpaths, but still it's a challenge where they keep on coming and we keep on shifting them to the crossroads. So this is what happened in a couple of years. So adadmele, when we saw this budget of 60 lakhs, then we said, okay, Sanjay Nagar main road is anyway, it's been done, but still the maintenance part is definitely contractors, their role is there. So we will give this responsibility to the contractors to look after this. So we were sticking over with the crossroads of Sanjay Nagar main road. So crossroads ali halvaru roads idave which connect like ಕೆಲವೊಂದು major schools idave, colleges idave. So where we had done this program called Walk to School program. So Walk to School and takshana, we need proper footpaths for students to walk and college students also to walk. So based on that, now halvar roads shortlist madidvi, where we said these are the roads which we need, where we have schools, colleges and major traffic area. I mean, major people who walk in these areas and really now shortlist madidvi. So we took a survey with the help of Janaagraha for the 60 lakhs budget, where we had 20 lakhs for the footpath and ittala. So idralli now survey madbittu we shortlisted say 3 roads. So shortlist maddaga, so in this ಕೆಲವೊಂದು roads were overshooting the budget of 20 lakhs. So with the help of our ward engineers, I think fortunately we have a ward engineer also, Mr. Santosh, who is there. And we are blessed with one more thing is our nodal officer is Tulsi ma'am itself. So a very, very active lady. So, and ward committee meetings happen regularly, and very, very active ward committee members are also there in this meeting. So Tulsi madam help in the Naven Madidvi, we took this, we approached her, we said we are doing the survey. She said, yeah, please go ahead. Madi, now we will make sure that these crossroads are done. That is the reason we didn't touch the Sanjay Nagar main road, because it is under contract. She's been very, very proactive. Thank you, Tulsi ma'am, because Sanjay Nagar main road vendors free madbeku antandre, she was the one who took this initiative to make it vendor free footpath. Otherwise footpath tumba jana halvar senior citizens alla biddu ಗಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು, ಪೆಟ್ಟು ಆಗಿತ್ತು, ತುಂಬಾ ಮೇಜರ್ ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ದಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ರೀಸನ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟ್ರೈಂಗ್ ಟು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದ ಸಂಜಯ್ ನಗರ್ ಮೇನ್ ರೋಡ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್ ನೀಟಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಮೆನಿ ಹರ್ಡಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಇಟ್. We have poles, we have of course geo poles. ಈಗ ಜಿಯೋ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. Geo poles are also coming up, which is illegal. And then we have payments which are not proper. Ella cobblestones alla misplace agide, and lot of dumping on the footpath. So all these things now clear madkonta. It is quite a challenge, but still with the help of our ward engineers, with the help of our nodal officer, we've been trying to clear these footpaths so that it will be easy for pedestrians to walk on these main roads. So this has been, that is the reason we have taken crossroads, and crossroads we prioritized, and around 17 lakhs after Janaagraha did this survey, 17 lakhs another on the road approve agide. So that we have taken, that is a major road which connects to the Sanjay Nagar main road. So this is the overall picture, and we are blessed with having a commissioner, former commissioner Mr. Manjunath Prasad, who has approved this Sanjay Nagar main road. It's a pet project for us also. And of course, a very active nodal officer like Tulsi madam has helped us in our ward committee meetings also, to make sure whatever problems we get it to her, it is resolved within a time frame that she allots. So it's overall, it's citizens' participation is very, very vital. ನೀವು ಏನೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿ, ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಕೆಲಸ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರು ನಮ್ಮ ಏರಿಯಾ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ citizens participation is quite very important, along with nodal officer. Of course, ಎಲ್ಲ officers, ಎಲ್ಲ officials, BBMP officials will support us unless and until we take an active part in this. Thank you, Srinivas.
Thank you. It looks like Gotigere is having some competition for model ward today we'll see where this goes. Now, over to you, Lalita. Lalita, are you online?
Yeah. So, this is Lalita Mohan from ward number 18, Krishna Ward. How we did this 20 lakh but step by step. So it all started with Janaagraha. So Janaagraha.
Lalita, let me interrupt you. Your voice is breaking. Maybe you can turn off your video and then speak. Yeah.
Okay. I think a connectivity problem is answered.
Yeah, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
I continue. So, basically, it all started with a presentation to the community by Janaagraha. So we informed in our we have a very active group in 80. We informed the group, and whoever was interested, a whole lot of citizens came. And Janaagraha made a presentation about My City, My Budget, and all of us basically understood what this entire project was about very clearly from Janaagraha. So after that, whoever had come for the meeting and the other active residents who were interested, who could not make it, we formed a smaller group. And this group, basically, we started brainstorming on which are the footpaths we will shortlist for the survey. Of course, the ward is very big. And if you say which footpath, everybody will want the footpath in front of their house to be done well. But so we need to have some criteria. So we actually zeroed it on two major criteria. One is vicinity to the schools. Basically, Sanjay Nagar area has a lot of small schools around this area. Multiple schools are there, and a whole lot of children go walking in the neighborhood to the neighborhood schools. So we decided that we will shortlist schools where many children go walking. That was one criteria. And the second criteria is basically our ward 18 is sandwiched between two main roads. One is Sanjay Nagar main road, and the other one is New BEL road. And if we want to encourage people to walk and have good footpaths so that people can walk for their daily requirements. So Sanjay Nagar main road has a whole lot of small shops where people just walk, almost go every day for their daily requirements. And BL road is full of all big stores and branded shops. These are two major shopping areas. So we decided that we will look at important connecting roads where people can actually walk and reach this two roads. So these were the two important criteria we kept in mind, and we started brainstorming on where the roads we will shortlist. Then we came down with a few roads which we discussed, and this we put it up to.
Okay, I think we lost Lalita. She covered. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So based on the estimates, we basically and out we'll have to see which one can be actually taken up on a pilot basis to show a success citizen involvement in city budget. And one more point I would like to quickly say, we have a unique case. Ward 18 does not have a nodal officer, and because last few nodal officers, so no ward committees meetings are also happening, even though it was happening earlier. So Ward 18 and 19 both are area, and all the initiatives both wards work together. So, and we are probably indirectly guessed that 19 has a nodal officer, so we plan to submit our nodal officer for taking this game over.
Okay.
And,
okay. Lalita, you're breaking up again. You're breaking up again. I think we got it. Maybe you can get a better connection. I'll bring you in later. Thank you so much. What Lalita was saying is, so Lalita, this ward and the earlier wards, Janaagraha, are neighboring wards, and citizens have been working across wards, as active citizens, and they've done amazing things on getting more children to walk to school and cycle to school and all that. This has been going on for many years, actually. This year happens to be this budget thing, but these wards have been working on this for quite some time, and a lot more you can learn from them if you interact with them. I'll ask you to do that. I'll now request my colleague Subhashika to quickly share how this walkability index is there. One of the things that many people are asking is, what is the walkability model? How did you do this, right? And while we cannot take too much time now, we'll just introduce you in a couple of quick minutes. Before Subhashika talks, I also want to put one question to all the ward committee citizens that spoke today. How are you ensuring that the people in the marginalized communities, the people that are not aware of the ward committees, the people in the urban poor communities, how are you making sure that their voice is also heard in it? So we'd like to hear from you on that before we open up for Q&A after Subhashika's short presentation. Subhashika?
Yes, thank you, Srinivas. So thank you all citizens for passionately and so enthusiastically presenting about your ward, and like it was very enthusiastic for us also to work with you, and this pushes us to work much more harder. So let me now briefly explain you on how did we arrive at costing and what are the rationale behind all the scoring and everything. So as you can see on the screen, all the 12 indicators were grouped under 4 different parameters. Additionally, there were 5 indicators which were separately allocated to safe and accessible pedestrian crossings. We made sure that both footpaths on both sides of the road are considered for scoring. And once the scoring and analysis was done, we went to costing. So the costing is mainly done based on schedule of rates PWD Karnataka, and also tender sure estimates. For the line items that was not available in both of these documents, we went to the ward engineers individually and asked them, like, how can this be costed? How can this be costed? So putting together all this, we collated it into an extensive costing sheet. So and that sheet is automated in such a way that if you want to arrive at costing for construction of a footpath or for repair of footpath, you have to just input the dimensions of the footpath, namely length, breadth, and height, and you will arrive at the basic final costing. So we summarized this extensive costing sheet into a simple one-page sheet, and we took it to the communities, ward engineers, nodal officers, and as well as citizens. So this all culminated into the prioritization exercise, which many of the citizens were talking about. So we sat with them, we made them understand this is how costing has emerged, and they helped us prioritizing the footpaths based on the cost as well as what is their necessity. And this is how this entire exercise has been done. So I thank the citizens, engineers, and nodal officers for this, and also my team. Thank you. Thank you, Srinivas.
Thank you. That was quick. So there is a method to it. That's what we are trying to convey here. If you could stop sharing and clear the screen, please. Yeah. So this is available now. That look, one thing that we want to be clear is that we ourselves are learning on how to do this. It's not that we know all the answers. In the process of doing things, so many things have been discovered. Let me ask if any of the speakers have an answer to my question. Amit, Swarupa, Jagdish, anyone want to respond to that? How are you ensuring that the voice of the voiceless, the people that are not on WhatsApp, not joining Zoom, but they're residents of your ward? How you make sure that their needs and their voices are also heard? Anything you're doing in particular to make that happen? Yeah, Jagdish.
So generally what we do is we walk around our ward. So most of our volunteers morning walk, they don't go to parks which we don't have we take the road and we go to the places where we try to visit during the COVID times. So we still have those connects, and we still trying to make our inroads into the where it is we generally people don't have access to all kind of participatory governance. So we will talk to them. We'll try to understand their experiences, how they are, on the livability aspects. So that they're getting water, so they have a kind of walkable footpath, or they have a proper road to drive. Mostly on the basics, and all sort of things. And then, we're trying to understand if that issue can be sorted out locally by talking to the local people, by engaging them, lifting the garbage, so that can be done easily. So that we can, talk to, so those who are, manning that area and get it clear. So that is, easily can be, done. And if, some drainage system is not working or a pipe is broken down, so which, supplies your drinking water to that particular area. If that can be fixed within the limited resources by the common people themselves, I mean, maybe 100 rupees or maybe 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees, we need not to wait, for the governance to act on it. We will try to make a difference there. Yeah.
Understood. Yeah. Anyone else? Swarupa, you wanted to say something?
Yes, Srini. For example, in our thing, Pillaganahalli, Weavers Colony, they're all, economically weaker sections. And then a lot of, I think it's a very densely populated area too. So during COVID time, we've got in touch with some of the active groups that have formed and then working with them. So we are in touch with them. For example, now in this water issue, 20 lakhs, we are focused fully on getting the bore wells done in that area. Pillaganahalli has a lot of bore wells, and out of that, I think 75 bore wells have been identified because water.
Are the people in the Weavers Colony aware that they have this money available to them?
Yes. So we are working through this organizations, I must say. They are very active. So we work through them. And then, in fact, we visited few, we in fact have started one of this, that every Saturday we walk through the ward and different areas, and then meet the local people, vegetable vendors and all that. And then we have identified and working through these organizations to ensure the issues are picked up from them and then get represented in the ward committee meetings and then take it.
Okay. Amit?
I would just like to highlight one point. It's very good that you raised the subject. Is the marginalized community, aware of ward committee meetings? In my ward specifically, no. I don't think so. The weaker section are aware of these kind of ward committee meetings. First of all, we getting this information is like a big challenge. And I don't know, some of the panelists are saying, yes, very good. I'm very happy to hear about that. But many wards, I'm sure the ward committee meetings notices itself, when is it happening? Where is it happening? That information itself is not available. But I hope, with the coming days, this information is available to the public, especially as per the act. It is supposed to be said that, notices are supposed to be shared in all government offices and public places wherever people are visiting. So people are aware, so people will get to know and will join this ward committee meetings and raise their concerns. See, we ourselves are having our own challenges. So imagine the marginalized community and the lower middle class people, they all have a lot of problems, and I'm sure it is not easy to solve everybody's problems, but there should be a start somewhere, I believe.
Okay, thank you. So we now open it up for Q&A interaction with all of you. Thank you for your patience. It took an hour and 18 minutes. What we thought will take 45 minutes. We are over by about 25 minutes or so, but we still want to do a 30-minute interaction, considering so many of you have joined, and many, the chat window has been buzzing. It's been a little social media of itself throughout this session. And I also thank all the speakers for sending messages on the chat window as well. That's you are, when Jagdish says that that's easy, that can be done, and somebody is going, really, is that easy? It can be done, because once you get into the system and start working, you can get a lot of things done. They are simple, but not for everybody. So don't assume that what you know and what you can do, others can do too. Lack of awareness is a single biggest problem that we have. So anything that you can do to help address people's issues and help them create a longer thing, that will be of great use. At this point, I want to pause from this talking, and before we open up for questions, so I'll request my colleague Nesa, who is running this entire Zoom conference, to run a fun poll. We are organizing a small opinion poll. It will be on Times Now and NDTV tomorrow. No, I'm just joking. Just a fun poll. So you have few seconds to answer it. I'm requesting everyone to answer this poll. There are 4 questions. You can answer each one of them. We'll give another 5 seconds, 10 seconds maybe. Hope all of you can see the poll flashed on your screen. Come on, you can do better than that. We only have some 39, 40 responses when there are 100 people here. So yes, Lakshmi says the last one should be select all of the above. I know that, but pick one that you think is the biggest concern, biggest of all. Okay, we can end the poll now. I think we got a good 50, 60% participation. That's really good. You can end the poll, Nisa. Let's look at the answers. Okay, there you go. The first question says, do you think the outer ward should get more funds to improve walkability? So Jagdish will be smiling looking at this. 87% are saying yes, because we all know what happened in outer wards, right? So they have been added to the city corporation, but infrastructure has not been given. So it's not fair to say everyone gets the same money. There has to be a better allocation to the wards that are outer. I hope Tulsi ma'am is listening or will listen later. So we are also pushing for this kind of system in the next budget. Hopefully this will happen. Second question, do you want BBM to give more funds to ward committee? Okay, this is a very obvious question. And actually there is four of them are saying don't know. So I really am curious to know why 4 people think that they're not sure about it. Like to hear about it in the Q&A. What are the, okay, did I miss any other question? Do you think citizens should start attending ward committees? It's sorry, it's moving up and down for me. 100%. Okay, this need to be screenshotted and saved. I'm calling my team and everyone to screenshot this right now. You know, what the theme that you could hear from Swarupa, from Pungatai, from Amit, from Chris, from Jagdish, Lalita, Geeta, everybody is that all these are duties of the BBMP or various departments. Yes, they must do these things. Nobody needs to tell them what needs to be done. They also know what the problems are. But unless and until there is a citizen participation, they will not be able to prioritize. They will not be able to focus on the things that need to be done, because our government staff are overworked. They have too many things happening in their life. When citizens come together and work with them, it gives clarity to them. This has been my experience. Many government employees and engineers and all of them will appreciate it when people tell them that this is what we want, because that helps them get clarity on where should I focus my work. So if you participate in ward committees, that's what will happen. And telling them doesn't mean tell them one day or send them a message and expect miracles to happen. It means continued, sustained engagement with them, talking to them, working with them, you know, sharing a cup of coffee with them. All of these things is what gets citizen participation happen. Citizen participation is not some theoretical thing that you read in the paper or in a book, but it is actually what happens on a day-to-day basis. We hope that you heard a lot of that today, and we hope it inspires those of you and around you to bring them into. The fact that you are in this meeting tells me that you're really interested in participation. Now you have a better idea of how to do it systematically, how to work with other people. So we hope we bring that to you today. The last question, and this is the biggest concern that many people have. What are the biggest hurdles for ward committees? Not conducted regularly. This is, you know, music to my ears as somebody who's been working on ward committees for 3 years now. Katyani ma'am also is in the audience. She will probably agree that 28% people are saying they're not conducted regularly, which means a lot of people are thinking that they're being conducted regularly. I'm a very glass half full kind of a guy. So I'm looking at this and saying, okay, 43 people are not thinking this as the problem. It's no longer the problem. Not allowed to participate. There are a lot of myths around ward committee that, oh, I'm not allowed to participate. Not true. Anyone is allowed to participate. In your ward, if somebody is stopping you from participate, then we can solve that problem. All you need to do is gather a few more people around you in your ward. The biggest strength you have is the people strength. You need to form your team. You need to get other people in your ward together. Then you won't have any such problems. Even then, if you have problems, then you can escalate to the higher officers, to the zonal commissioners, to the joint commissioners. There's so many things that are there to address such grievances. Nodal officers not active is 13 out of 60, 22%. Serious issue. Many nodal officers have been transferred, put in a ward that they are not nearby, and so a lot of changes are happening. Remember that nodal officer is a temporary role right now because BBMP did not have elections. We don't have ward councillors, elected councillors. So in the place of elected councillors, BBMP was thoughtful enough to appoint nodal officers who are acting like in charge for that ward. So, but they are not always, they have some other job and also being appointed as nodal officers. So some of them are not active. So this is a regular problem. We keep working with them. Yesterday or day before yesterday, the Banaswadi team has gone through this. They didn't even have a nodal officer for some time. Many other wards have these issues, but we can work through these issues. It's not going to be solved overnight. Finally, actions not taken based on decisions made, 42%. This is a very big one. So this is something that's very important. When something is discussed in the ward committee, it is not being acted upon. So this is a main reason why we have strived to do the participatory budgeting, so that it's very clear. There is this money, it's for footpaths. There is this money, it's for toilets. There's this money for borewells. Now it cannot not take action because it's very clear from the very top of BBMP, those instructions are coming. So in many words, they're not aware of it. So we are here to help you. My colleague Sapna, who couldn't be here thanks to COVID in the family, but we all have been working on this for a long time. We'll help you how to make this happen. So Vashika has told you the process that we follow. We can share that publicly. We have WhatsApp community of all of these wonderful citizens that you see on the screen, where you can interact with them and with us and many others. I think our team is posting the link to join the WhatsApp group also. You can watch the videos, you can join the WhatsApp group and start interacting with folks there. So thank you for taking part of that of the poll. I'm really impressed with the amount of participation. 60 of you have responded. Thank you so much. Now we are open for interaction, and let me offer the privilege of anyone that is from out of the city, out of Bengaluru, who has been so patiently listening. If you want to start, please go ahead. I'm not able to see all of you, so please start speaking or raising your hand if you're not able to speak, and we'll get you on board. Anyone from Hyderabad? I see Bhubaneswar, I see Chennai, I see Mumbai. Yes. Okay, Pranay from Bhubaneswar, go ahead, Pranay. Okay, Basava Achyuta.
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, I am from this ward 192, Begur ward. And ward committee meetings are not happening regularly. Maybe last year only 2-3 meetings happened. But what decisions they're taking there also they are not implementing. Sometimes the nodal officer is telling that I am not part of your ward or something like that. He is trying to escape. And also the coordinator says funds are not there. For anything you say funds are not there, and that BBMP
Okay, I think we understood the issue. Maybe you have having some technical difficulties. Will anyone respond to that? Amit, would you like to take a crack at it, Chris? Feel free to share your experience.
So I would suggest, so how we work is, basically there's a budget which is allocated, prior in advance by the BBMP. I would say start focusing on the budget which is already allocated and see that if that social auditing can be done on that particular project or that particular work code which is happening, post which you could attend ward committee meetings and raise these issues. If at all your ward committee meeting is not happening, as you mentioned, your nodal officer is not responding to you, I would recommend that you start interacting with the lowest officer available. And as even Mr. Srinivas mentioned, gather a lot of people from your residence, start interacting with the assistant engineer, assistant executive engineer, executive engineer. If you follow this kind of small protocols, I am sure it will lead to some small fruitful results. So do not lose hope, do not give up. It's a it's a long battle that we have to follow, and we are all there to help you as much as we can.
Yeah, thank you very much. I have been following with the assistant executive engineer coordinator. He raises his hands and tells, "No funds, sir. What can I do?" So
yeah, so this is a serious problem everywhere. So they may not be aware also. Can't blame them. The number one step that I recommend to everyone who is having difficulty in taking off the ground is gather 10 people in your ward. Preferably men, women, people from different sections of society. That's the minimum required group for you to make an impact in your ward. No individual can become a hero to make everything happen. It's not going to happen. Whether if Amit and Chris are sitting here, it's not because these two have done all of that work. They have a lot of people behind them working together. Same with Swarupa, same with Lalita and all of that. And they've been forming teams together for a long time. So if you're starting afresh, it's going to take some time for you to find like-minded people. That's the purpose of these events also, and the WhatsApp groups that we have. So do join us, gather the group first. Instead of focusing on fighting with somebody who doesn't understand or doesn't know, first focus on gathering your own comrades, your own colleagues. Then you work together, then good things will start happening. I can promise you that that's the way citizen participation will become real when the first citizens come together. So please focus on that. And if you need help with that, also we can have some guidance and we can discuss those ideas as well. Okay.
We have been, hello, yeah. 1 minute please.
Yes.
I have been doing ward work with our local citizens, posting the photographs and everything. But still, the roads are very shabby, and drainage, sewage water is flowing. I have been calling the local, the representative corporator. He was there, and also the entire team was there, BWC team and all. So they are all just keeping mum. No action has been taken on the ground.
Are you having regular ward committee meetings twice a month?
No, this month we didn't have some this thing was there. Till now we are not having. Last month we had one ward meeting, and previous year also one ward meeting, and sizable citizens participated. Also the same story. I don't know. I don't understand why they are behaving like that.
Okay, sometimes things can get into a confrontational mode and then a lot of bad things will begin to happen. So you have to reset. It sounds like I don't want to diagnose the problem and solve it here. We can connect offline. Achita, you've been working hard. We can see that we are all with you, and we'll make sure that something can be done to take things forward.
Dhanyavadagal, sir. Dhanyavadagal.
Dhanyavadagal.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, Prakash Aure, you wanted to say something?
Definitely. So I'm from Ward 90, and our nodal officer is the Joint Commissioner. So the meetings are being conducted, but action taken is not up to mark. So that is the main issue what we are facing. So many major issues have been attended. So our nodal officer is very good at it. The only problem is he doesn't find the proper time to conduct the meeting. But as and when there is a time, he conducts, but not on the scheduled date. So he calls for meetings all of a sudden we are doing. And is there any possibility to know whether the 60 lakhs what has been approved has been it has been sanctioned, has it been provided to the ward? That details we are not able to get. So here, as per this one, schedule, what Madam said now, out of 60, it is divided into 20. So, in some wards, there is no need of this one for footpaths this one at all. So, what will be that amount spent on? So, why is that clarification of three groups? So, can it be mingled together? Is my question.
Yes, it's a good question. 20 lakhs is a small amount. So nobody has said that, we're not able to use this money. So you're the first one who's saying that. I congratulate your ward for not having so much need. But jokes apart, I think we need clarity on that. I'll tell you what worries me a lot. This is 120 crores that is given to the citizens of Bengaluru. Okay, it is 60 lakhs per ward, 198 wards, which is close to 200. 200 times 60 lakhs, 120 crores. Bangalore city BBMP budget is around 8,000, 9,000 crores. 120 crores is a small percentage of the overall city budget. We all know that. But the point is, 120 crores is 120 crores higher than zero. 60 lakhs is 60 lakhs higher than zero. So that's kind of where we stand today. And the success of the spending of the 60 lakhs will result in Tulsi ma'am or whoever is in charge of BBMP, the new mayor, the next corporators coming in, they will all be, forced or under scrutiny to allocate more money to the funds. If we don't even use the funds, then it will be like, yes, we tried something, but it's not really helping. So that's a disaster for citizens. Let me say that on record. If we do not use this money that is allocated to the wards, for whatever reason, we must make our best foot forward, best efforts possible. So what happens to the money that is not spent, we will find out. There are certain rules for that. Out of syllabus for the discussion, I don't see Tulsi ma'am here. If she joins, I'll ask her to answer that directly, and we'll try to get you an answer. Okay, several others.
No, my question was different. When they have divided into three, suppose we don't have a need for borewells in the ward, can that amount be used for other purpose?
That entirely depends on how nicely you negotiate with your nodal officer and engineer, sir. It's completely your thing. Nobody is going to ask you about it. In fact, many wards are spending a lot more than 60 lakhs. Let me put it this way. Many wards our citizens are influencing works that are a lot more than even these guys, Jagdish and Amit and all of that. The other things that they're doing would invest a lot more money, right? You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. 60 lakhs is this particular participatory budget that is there. But if the citizens bring out some other issue in the ward, like Geeta was talking about, or the main road, they've already worked with Suma and Dalt and all of that. A lot of other things are also happening. So much more money is also available to be spent. Remember that the budget allocation to the wards comes centrally. So you have, for example, 1,000 crores is given for solid waste management. Where is this 1,000 crores going? It's going to your ward only. It's going to every single ward. So you have money for solid waste management in your ward. You have control over that too. You can ask questions about that too. This particular 60 lakhs is a new thing to bring it into ward committee to make citizen priorities happen. But as a responsible and active citizen of your ward, you can very much ask about the solid waste management, stormwater drains, parks, playgrounds, toilets, everything and anything that BBMP runs, including other departments, is our business. We can hold them accountable and we can get the money happen. So, sir, in the interest of time, I'll move forward. I hope I gave you some response. Shelly, you're from Mumbai. Would you like to say something? Ahmedabad here.
Yeah, I'm Shelly Kultrish from Ahmedabad. So all this is music to our ears because it's still a closed space for us, the ward committees. We cannot attend as citizens. And I'm also a researcher in this area, so I'm quite interested in knowing what is happening in other cities. So the success stories you are sharing is very useful for our cities. And as a first step, I think you all have a long way to go, but we want to reach where you have reached and take this first step of attending a ward meeting. So that will be a privilege for us. And actually, this is a great work initiative that you are taking on. So that's, and we have a lot to learn from each other actually.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ahmedabad has done some really wonderful work in solid waste management, many other things. Thank you for joining us. We are really happy to hear from somebody in Gujarat all the way from Ahmedabad. Okay. Well, Surya Dev, sir, you have been waiting. You wanted to make a point?
Yes, please. I'm actually Dr. Bharati. I'm a scientist and then, doing a lot of work in Oxen Park throughout India. And I wish, Bangalore also will have some amount of Oxen Park or Oxen Islands on the road, or even an Oxen Tunnel for walking for people. This is done today with the help of a special bamboo developed called Bima bamboo, which is able to generate over 320 kilograms of oxygen per plant, whereas one human being needs only 280 kilograms of oxygen. And today, actually, if you look at Bangalore, normally it should be 20.9% oxygen, which has come down as low as 15% in the air, especially on the roadside. And this can really throw the oxygen, taking the carbon from the air and keep growing at 1.5 feet a day. I wish, you'll also consider as a small budget for this and start making this kind of oxen parks or oxen island or an oxen tunnel for walking for people to go in the morning, on the evening.
Okay. Thank you. That's a very interesting suggestion. Haven't heard about it, but thanks for letting us know. Vikram is here from Bangalore Apartments Federation. Vikram, you've been quiet. Would you like to share your thoughts on what you've been hearing from the different wards?
No, I think sometimes, Srinu, it's important to listen rather than speak, right? And this has been one such session, very enlightening. I think it's fantastic to see so many, I think, early days, but great to see initial, incremental success stories coming along where some of these wards have been able to show the first levels of path on one understanding the ecosystem better, as well as then negotiating through that ecosystem, right? The first levels. It's a long way to go. I do sincerely hope that we are able to institutionalize some of these from, at least from BAF's point of view. One of the things that we will want to at least take up seriously is how can we get our own member RWAs to be more participative in these conversations, right? Like the 60 lakh budget, can they play a very strong role in their own respective wards is something that we will want to definitely take up very seriously. So lots of inputs which have come from wards which are showing the way. Hopefully we are able to build a replicative framework around that. Very glad I could be part of this session, and yeah, best wishes. And for a bunch of other things that we are doing, right? How can we replicate this? How can we take it to more and more wards? How can we take the learning to more wards, more citizen groups is at least the key parting thought of mine.
Thank you. Thank you. BAF or Bangalore Apartment Federation has been federating apartment associations for quite some time and very successfully to not only to protect the rights of the apartment dwellers, but also to make them part of the larger governance. And I, for one, believe that when people that are already experienced the self-organization, working together with the community, are ideally suited to be part of the larger ward level governance as well, because you already know what the issues are, how people don't always agree, and there is conflict and there is consensus and all of that. It's my dream that these associations, the RWAs and the apartment associations, management committees, like Swarupa did, to step out of that, their own premises and their compound walls and get into the larger ward level governance. And if you are somebody who's willing to do that, please get in touch with Vikram or with any of us. From Gujarat, we'll now go into Odisha. I see Shakti Pranay Manjari joining us from Bhubaneswar. Pranay, what do you want to say?
So I have question regarding ward committee. So in Bhubaneswar, the corporator post is vacant for last 3 years. There is no data available on the BMC website. So I was just checking, Bangalore BBMP website and BMC website. So at least there is a calendar for ward committee. In Bhubaneswar, there is no such things. And last year they created a COVID Sachetak ward committee group, which was, I think the meeting happened in August 2020. Then I think our fight, even not even to what to decide in ward committee meeting when ward committee meeting is not happening, and then there is no no data available. So
it's a tough challenge. Ward committees, not to sound like a boring old professor, but have been in our constitution from 1992. It will be 30 years this year that ward committees have entered Indian constitution and urban governance. Unfortunately, very, very few cities in India, you can count them on your one hand, have actual working ward committees. We've just introduced the Bengaluru City Corporation, the coastal town of Karnataka, also started ward committees happening. And they've started with a wonderful training to all the ward committee members and all that. Long way to go. Pranay, what I would suggest is that you have to gather citizens that are seeking ward committees in Bhubaneswar, and the best time to form ward committees immediately after elections. Now that elections to Bhubaneswar corporations are coming soon, that's the best time to ask for ward committees and put pressure on the political parties to form ward committees as soon as the elections are done. That is what I would suggest to you. Suresh Prakash, sir, you want to add something? You're on mute, Suresh.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Nice to see such a big crowd over here. I would like to thank Janaagraha to have this session today. We all have complaints about ward meeting people not coming in. In fact, in our ward, we have got about 20 blocks, and we have met every block people, and we have made sure that at least one from each block attend the meeting. So that makes around 20 kind of attendance. Yeah, that makes an average of 20 per attendance. But there are about 6 to 8 blocks people, about 1 or 2 people coming from each block who attend the meeting. But since November, we had not had any successful meeting. 2 meetings were organized, one in November, one in December, but except for the AE, none of the BBMP staff came in for the meeting. And the reason could be the last minute announcement, which they generally do in the evening, and morning they call for the meeting. People are unable to attend. We have initiated a lot of activities. We have given our basic common complaints after discussing from each block members to attend and solve the common basic problems of safety with respect to lighting and the debris removal and smaller things. But we don't see the BBMP people acting. I would like to ask the nodal officer of Ward 188, or even if the AE, if he is there in the meeting, to respond to our, we have made groups, we are sharing the same information on regular basis, but response of BBMP is very, very pathetic. They are literally not responding. And day by day, we can see the pile of debris getting increased in each corner of the ward. Somewhere, some action has to happen. We have been talking to them, we meet them, we say hi, hello to them, we go in groups, not as individual also. 4 or 5 people go together to talk to them, but still nothing is happening. And they say we are not short of money. We know they are not short of money, but still nothing is happening. We need Janaagraha to intervene in this matter because everything has slowed down. Yeah, I agree.
I know you've been struggling with this. So let's work with the zonal commissioner, and I think you come under Bommanhalli, if I'm not mistaken, or is it
correct,
south?
Correct.
Okay, let's work with the Bommanhalli officials. I must say that you have been trying to resolve this, trying to gather citizens, and still you're not able to make progress. So, we want to support you in whatever way that we can. But don't lose hope. Many of the people that spoke today spent many years before they could move an inch. I can tell you without even asking them, right?
Yeah, we have
so
been,
we have all gone through
BBMP since 2011. So we are also 10 years.
Right. So let's
things have happened
make
good. Some things are still pending, which is not moving. The basic things.
Well, there are very, very innovative ways of also attracting attention. Maybe some things cannot be discussed on this conference, but let's talk about it separately.
Yeah.
I also thank all the friends from the media for joining us. I hope they will see what kind of engagement that citizens are having with the BBMP and other departments here. Often in the media, we tend to see more of the problems than the solutions. And I, for one, think that if media gives more space to positive stories and, rays of hope, rays of light, that will inspire more citizens to join these things. So while we can hold these meetings and bring people together, it's really in the hands of media to take this message to the larger 1.4 crore is the population of Bengaluru. So no Zoom meeting can ever reach that kind of population. So we request the media to take these stories, speak to all the people that you heard from today. After this meeting, we can share their contact information with you if you like, and we will also send you the information. Thank you so much for joining and being patient. I'd like to invite my colleagues Swati and Gayatri now. They have something very interesting and quick and short to share with all of you that you will agree that is very important for our city. Swati?
Hi, Srinivas. Thank you. I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
And yes. Meanwhile, I'll just quickly share my screen. Okay, hope my screen is visible. Yes?
Yes.
Great, thank you. Happy morning to everyone. And I'm so glad I've been listening for past almost 2 hours to this whole conversation. I'm so glad that citizens are coming forth and discussing all of these issues, because every city until now where I've lived, I have not seen this kind of movement. So yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge this before I go and make this announcement. So thank you. And so today's announcement, I'll just quickly take 3-4 minutes to announce this. It's very connected to what we have been discussing for past 2 hours, which is the active mobility bill. And this mobility bill is being framed by DULT, which is Directorate of Urban Land Transport. And it's live right now on their website for recommendations from citizens. Right. And the key features of this will be covered by my colleague in next 2 minutes. What does this mobility bill contain? And then I'll discuss that how exactly is this related to all of us and what are we supposed to do about it? Yes. So Gayatri, if you can take this up.
Right, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for the time. So I just want to briefly give a background of this active mobility bill in connection to this amazing walkability studies and everything being done at the ward level. The government has put forth this bill at a state level to enable the rights of pedestrians and cyclists and whoever has a form of active mobility to have their right and stake in the land in the way they are using the current roads. As we all know, urban roads are not safe for pedestrians to walk or cycle, despite a large group of people who actually use it on a daily basis. So the bill is unique in that way because it addresses the rights of the people who are using it, what are the things they can expect out of the ULBs, and how infrastructure works and other a larger level planning principles will help and enable that you have a connected and well-formed space to safely walk and cycle. So this has a lot of components with respect to building the infrastructure, having continuous cycle tracks, footpath, connecting to a larger public transit mobility and everything. And the most important thing here is that because as citizens have already have started this dialogue on ensuring this walkability in your wards are addressed, it would be a great opportunity for you to voice your opinions and concerns on this bill, so that in a way this bill is one of the main agenda of this bill also is to ensure that we have a sustainable future, so that there are more number of people who are walking and cycling and able to reach metros and other private other public transport and not depend on your public transport. So in a way, this is investing in our future so that we can combat challenges of air pollution and everything in small steps to ultimately reach a sustainable future. So this will be a great forum to understand what the bill contains and voice your concerns regarding the same. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Gayatri. So now I'll take you through this process. So this bill is just 25-26 pages, not more than that. And yes, so there are just 3 steps. What we are supposed to do is step 1, you can go to the website of DULT, which is Directorate of Urban Land Transport. I'll also paste this link in the chat after the announcement, where you can click and directly download the bill from here, read it, and according to you, whatever recommendations that you want to make to this bill, type it out and then email it to this email ID, which is mentioned over here. I'll mention this email ID also in the chat, which is dult@karnataka.gov.in. And one thing to keep in mind is that the last date to send in recommendations is 31st January 22, which is 9 days from now. So we only have this much time. So we can use our weekend today and tomorrow to read up this and send in recommendations, because this is so much important for us citizens, because this whole process is happening for us, right? So we should have a say in it. So we just want to pressurize that this is really important and let all of us make recommendations for us and our city and our community. Thank you, Srinivas, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you. So this is another level of, can you stop sharing, please? Another level of citizen participation, right? We are participating in the ward committees on a day-to-day issues and, footpaths and potholes and things like that. But this is at a ultimate level of participation. Would you please stop sharing the screen? So what happens when the bills come is that, the bill will be put on the public. Law will come in, new rules will come in, people say, how did this happen? Why are we not doing that? So DOLT has put this bill in public domain and asking for public feedback. So this is a good opportunity for those of you that have been working on the issues of transport, sustainable mobility, walkable pedestrianization, cycling, to participate in this. Because for the first time ever, I'm getting tired saying first time, but it's actually ensuring the right to walk and right to cycle. Pedestrian rights are very flimsy in India, right? You take any senior citizen, they'll be scared to cross a road. Forget senior citizen, I am scared to cross the road. You have to be an Olympic sprinter like PT Usha to be able to cross a road when you get those 10 seconds to cross the road. Why should it be like that? Why should not? The bill says in every signal, every intersection, the pedestrian should get ample time to cross. The bill says that. The bill says that when you're making a new road anywhere in the city or the state of Karnataka, it must have this width footpath, and every major street must have a cycle path. These are unimaginable things few years ago. Because of the focus on non-motorized transport and urban mobility and climate crisis, all of these things coming together, they are now pushing new models like this. So for those of you from other states, I suggest that you download this bill and see how you can promote it within your states and push for something. When there is an example in another state, it makes it easy for you to ask for it in your own state. For those of you in Karnataka, as responsible active citizens, we request you to read that. In the coming days, we'll be also producing short briefs of this bill, so you can clearly see what it is that it's saying. It's a very simple email-based response that you can make. So we thank you for trying to do that. We appreciate any input you can give. So we are at 11:58. We have 2 minutes. So before I ask my colleague HL Manjunath to close the meeting, anyone wants to say anything? Urgent things, now is your chance. Yes, Swarupa.
One point, after listening to everybody on the ward committee meetings, even for Gotigere, they're not really all the time very fruitful and successful. I want to say that. Many a times officials don't come. And we had instances where officials were more, RWAs were not there. And at least, but what I see as a takeaway from this, that we got to know now who is the point of contact for which department, know them by name, know them by number. So when we've reached a stage where when I see some water clog somewhere, I know whom to call, and 100% I'm guaranteeing that they will pick up the call. Whether they work on it or not,
this is
I'm not
practical wisdom. Please write this down. You need to know who is doing what and what is that person's number. If you got that, you've made a lot of progress already.
But we do have so many times the same minutes get discussed every single meeting, and they get pushed, and it's challenging for residents as well as the nodal officer ma'am to discuss the same issue. But at least, there are occasions where nodal officer ma'am said that call the department in, we will wait.
Yes. So please see, I recommend blcares.in. That's a website that we created some time back during COVID, but it's still active. You can find your ward, you can find your nodal officer. We'll add other information also. I know Banaswadi has done some really good information dissemination to the residents of the ward, and they were willing to share it with other wards also, so you can connect with them. Rajesh, you wanted to say something?
Yes, sir.
Rajesh,
Yes,
yeah.
Go ahead. Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me?
Yeah, Rajesh and Ramesh, and then we will end. Katyani ma'am too. She also raised her hand. Rajesh, Ramesh Chandar, and then Katyani. Yeah.
So can I?
Go ahead, Rajesh.
Yeah. So just, I want to mention that, there are so many citizens really wants to help for the society, really wants to help for the society. We should motivate that kind of citizens. For example, I know Amit sir from 2009. Okay. From 2009, I know Amit sir. Amit sir also know me. We used to do, without joining in any group, independently we was doing the service for the society. So like this, many of them are there, wants to do it, we should motivate them. And that's what my suggestions are, I want to tell that we should motivate the people who really wants to do the good for the society without expecting anything. Not only for their, personal reason wants to take some support, to come to serve the society. That should not be in their mind, that kind of people we should select, sir, because most of them, actually, according to my experience, many of them join in the group and, they take only for the personal thing support.
Yes, totally. I completely agree. So there are many citizens like that. In fact, many active citizens are selflessly working, not connected to other active citizens. So that will be a very good thing for you to do, is to connect with other like-minded people. When that happens, I can guarantee you that magic will happen in your ward.
Yeah. Now, recently it happened, like, last month there was a good footpath, only street foods was there. We saw many times, it did happen. So last month, what I did, I called my media friend to cover that. And then back of Senaviar wall, there was a full garbage and, so many things. And the Senaviar people also was not taking care, and the present corporate taking care. After media coverage and all that, immediately they taken that on the footpath shops and all cleared, and Senaviar itself, they cleared it, because who is the person, they should take the responsibility, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Rajesh. Thank you. Ramesh Chandra. Ramesh Chandra.
Yeah. Hi, Srinivas. Good morning to everyone. So I just had an observation and a suggestion. Are you able to hear me, Srinivas?
Yes. Go ahead. Make it quick, please. Yeah.
Okay. So the suggestion was, I'll make it quickly. So I saw in the survey, a lot of people said that the actions are not taken on the ward committee meetings. So one of my observations what I've seen in the ward committee is they create the minutes of meeting saying who attended, what was discussed. But what I fail to see is they don't put an action date and who will take care of the action. So for example, when they start the next meeting, they forget about what has discussed in the last meeting. So the recommendation would be that they put in the minutes of meeting that what are the action, who will take that action, and by what date, and in the next meeting, they review what is done and what is not done. Then the second observation what I have is typically in BBMP, they spend more focus on creating new infrastructures. But whereas for maintaining the existing infrastructure, there are very less budget or generally no budget. See, for example, when they put the roads, they put it. But then if they want to paint the shoulders, that is very less budget.
Got it.
So they
understood. So, in the
it.
interest of time, Ramesh, so minutes are very important part of ward committee. The BBMP Special Commissioner Administration, Mr. Dayananda IAS, has given clear instructions that after every ward committee meeting, the meeting minutes must be posted. Yeah. If you go to BBMP website, you will find meeting minutes. In fact, my colleague Vachaswini, who couldn't be here today, she's done an analysis of the ward committee meetings, and we identified that out of 198, 77 wards have been regularly posting the ward committee meeting minutes, and Gottigere ward incidentally happened to post minutes for every single meeting. That's difficult for many wards to do for many reasons, but it's important, and you must show your own ward committee how other wards are doing. It has to be, you have to influence them positively and nicely so that this can be done. It's a habit that needs to happen. It's not easy working with government officials and trying to bring new process into the action is not very easy. It's going to have its own challenges. I'll just invite Katyayani ma'am. Many of you know Katyayani, some of you may not know her. Katyayani ma'am heads the Civic, which is one of the oldest citizens group in India and Bengaluru, and she has been indefatigable, I think I'm saying the word right, fighter for ward committees all over India. Thanks to her, we have made a lot of progress in ward committees in Karnataka and elsewhere. Ma'am, thank you for joining and being here so long. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Srinivas. Eldrigu namaskara. It's a very good initiative that you have taken, and presenting it to cities across India. It's a very good initiative, and this is a first step, no doubt. We have a long way to go. I'd just like to share that we also did an exercise like this in one ward in 2010, but we made sure that the plan is not for one particular part of a ward. We made it an integrated plan for the entire ward, taking the prioritization, looking at every street of the ward so that the worst things get sorted out first. And we made sure that the affluent people go and look at what has been done in the, what needs to be done in the marginalized section so that they are not left out. So then finally, as a result, even the affluent RWAs decided that 80% money should go to the slum areas, and they are happy with just 20% for maintaining their area. So I would really request that this is a very good first step, but we need to have a plan for the entire ward, and the prioritization has to happen that way. And I mean, there's not much time to go into everything. I'll just say that when the rules were being framed for the ward committees in 2013 to 2016, we gave a lot of inputs, and we were aware of all these problems that ward committee meetings don't happen often, don't happen regularly, that no action is taken. So because of our recommendation, it was put into the rules that the action taken report has to be given at every successive meeting on what was discussed in the earlier meeting. And if the officials have not done what they were supposed to do, it is there in the rules that you can recommend that disciplinary action can be taken on those officials. So if we start using those provisions, maybe it will become more effective, and we don't go on whining that nothing is getting done. So but of course, those rules are not valid for Bengaluru anymore because of the new act, and new rules have to be framed. So we hope those provisions will be carried forward in the new rules also for BBMP, but they are there for the other cities. And also, I think we need to have more awareness programs about all the rules and the act across a ward. Whoever has been very active in their wards, I would request them to involve more people in the ward and create more awareness so that everybody gets a chance to participate. And also, we have to insist that meeting notices have to be issued 1 week in advance, and meeting notices have to be put up in the ward office and all other offices to create more awareness among all citizens, and not that one section of the people only participate. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyway,
So
I wish you all the best for this initiative. And,
thank you so much.
Yeah,
it's wonderful to hear from you.
One last point, we need to ask for unconditional grant to be given to the ward. Like in Kerala, 40% is given for you to do whatever you want to do with it, and that it is not fixed as
the people's plan. Yes,
this much for footpath and all that. If it is given unconditionally, it's better.
Absolutely, we'll get there soon. My apologies, I haven't noticed Charu from Voice of People Chennai joining us. Charu, would you like to say something? And Dr. Kedar Diwan joining us from Mumbai. Dr. Kedar, would you want to come in? Kedarji? Sir, we are not able to hear you. Are you saying something? Okay. Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir. We can't hear you, sir. Okay. So anyone else before I hand it back to HL? Okay, Chris, you have the last word. Make it very short, 30 seconds, please.
Yeah, I would just like to second what Srinivas said. At this moment, we need very, very active support from the media as well. It's the media who can bring a lot of positive energy into the group and also boost the morale of people who have been working tirelessly for years and years, and also can showcase our achievements on the media. So many other people from other states of India
Yes.
can also see and learn.
Yes.
So I request media people who are on this group, kindly give us your support. We need it. We
It's a
are
good
spending
point.
so much.
Yeah.
We are really spending a lot of time on focusing on film stars, what they wear, where they go, where they
Hey,
come.
Chris, yeah, it's
not
okay. You
required.
made the point.
Yeah.
Lakshmi, I'm sorry, Lakshmi. I'm sorry. I didn't see you raise your hand for a long time. Lakshmi, did you want to say something? Lakshmi Mula?
Yes, Srinivas. Thank you so much for organizing this session. All your people participative programs are very enlightening, and it gives us an opportunity to get involved more effectively in our wards or in our communities for the issues we have. So I've been somehow I've been able to connect and develop this rapport, like earlier others had spoken about attending the ward committee meetings or interacting with the officers, and there is that kind of a confidence built in where we are able to interact directly with the officers. One of the things that I have been consistently noticing in the ward committee meetings is whenever we raise the issue of the budget, like the 60 lakhs which has been allotted, we would like to know what has happened, what is the state of the money, where has it gone. They would not want to share it, and somewhere the ex-corporator becomes the de facto corporator, who is given the leviance, especially in my ward. That is what I noticed, to kind of answer that question rather than the nodal officer or anybody else taking charge. So we don't
Understood.
get
Lakshmi, you're in
transparency on that.
Jayanagar. You're in Jayanagar.
I am
right?
in Kunte ward, Srini,
Is it
195.
South? Is it Bangalore South?
Yeah, Bangalore South, after Putenali.
Okay, so Tulsi ma'am is your zonal commissioner. You can work with her, and also I must say that you should stop asking what happened to the money, but tell them what needs to happen with that money. That's what these guys
So
have
they
done.
don't give us the opportunity to tell also.
Yeah. So what you need to do is, now you heard how all these walkability things have happened, right? Gather citizens, go on the streets, identify where the 60 lakh can be spent in the next 2 months. You have 2 months to spend this money. If you don't spend it, it will go away. If you tell them in this way and say that, okay, on 3rd Main, we need this money for this footpath, be very precise, and then take it to the ward committee with other citizens.
Yes.
When you do that, then good things will happen. I'm sorry, I have to end it. We are really
connect with you after the meeting.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for joining and patiently waiting for so long. We really appreciate this. Much appreciation. We couldn't show the video of Ramamani madam, who is a nodal officer. We will share it with everyone here on the WhatsApp groups later on. You will hear from a perspective of a nodal officer. You heard from a Tulsi ma'am. You can also hear from the nodal officer's perspective. I just hand it back to my colleague Manjunatha to close the meeting.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದ. ಈ ಶನಿವಾರ ಅದು ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಅವರ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಗಂಟೆಗಳ ಕಾಲ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ನಗರದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಅನುಭವಗಳನ್ನ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಸ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನ ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಜೊತೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ವೆಬಿನಾರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು ಸಹ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮುನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು. ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಸಹ ನಾನು ಧನ್ಯವಾದವನ್ನ ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೇರೆ ನಗರದ ಅದರ್ ಸಿಟಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟೆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅಗೈನ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಸಹ ನಾನು ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನ ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಶುಭ ದಿನ, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಒಳ್ಳೆದಾಗಲಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
And a big thank you to all the speakers and team Janaagraha that have worked very hard to put this thing together. Varchaswini, Zveria, Subhashika, Sandhya, Nesar, Harsha for live translation on the chat. Thank you so very much. We appreciate your hard work, and thank you everyone for joining. Do join the WhatsApp groups. The links are posted on the groups, and you can always stay connected on the social media as well. Do talk about ward committees to everyone you know. That's the most important thing you can do besides playing Wordle these days. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Make sure that the link from that new bill, amendment bill.
That is also shared, ma'am. That will be also shared on the groups. Active Mobility Bill. Thank you so much for reminding. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice rest of the Saturday. Thanks for giving us half of your Saturday.
Thank you. Wonderful
Thank you.
session,
Thank you.
Srini. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Manjunath. Thanks.
Thanks, Rajesh.